So I know it's kind of unusual me starting out on the side of the road. I usually don't. However, I realized my dumbass never put my visor up. So literally, I've been riding around for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, talking when you guys couldn't even hear me. So welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be talking about a few things I've done to the 250L. I'm sorry I haven't been posting a lot on YouTube, but now I've done a few things to the 250L, most notably new front tire and new tune. I got a Flashed ECU. So I'm going to talk about both. First off, I'm going to say this tire feels weird. I said this earlier when I first started the video, but out of all the tires, this is the Tusk D-Sport front tire. And out of the many tires I bought for this bike after 30,000 miles, none of them have made as much of a difference as this one, and I don't know if it's good or bad yet. I haven't the slightest clue if it's for the better or for the worse yet. I haven't really ridden it that much. The best way to describe it is it feels glued straight up and down. Like when I say the bike feels more stable when I'm riding up and down like this, I mean it feels like it wants to snap back to the center almost. I don't know how to describe it. But when I want to lean over, it gets kind of sketchy, but it doesn't actually, so far as I can tell, it doesn't actually limit how far I can lean over, compared to my old tire anyway. So with that being said, and I'll probably talk about the tire a little bit more later, but now I want to talk about the tune. First and foremost, I'll describe what it is. So I bought a Flashed ECU core, which means I just bought a new ECU core with a 91 octane tune. It's for stage 1, which means airbox mod, exhaust, all that sort of stuff. Basically, they sent me a new ECU. I took out the old one and I plugged in the new one. I still have the old one. I can put it back to stock if I need to, but I don't think that'll be a thing. I got this tune not too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I put it in, and I haven't noticed a huge difference, not as much as other people say, and I'll get into that in a second. But what the tune is supposed to do, or basically what the tune does, is it raises the it richens the fuel mixture throughout all the maps. So you have an idle map, you have a cruising map, and then you have an acceleration map. And it richens the throttle mixture throughout all of them. It raises the idle from about, I think it was like 1250 or 12 to 1500. And it raises the rev limiter from 10,500 to 11,500 RPMs, which basically means I'm 100% guaranteed to blow the thing up now. So with that being said, it also advances the timing, which is why it requires 91 octane. I mean, it'll still run not on 91 octane, but I've heard that it's just a noticeable difference when you do versus when you don't. So therefore, I'm running 93 right now. As long as you're running 91 or better, it should be alright. Now, I haven't noticed a huge difference. I know that the tune is effective because I no longer have backfire on deceleration like I always have. I do notice that 5th and 6th gear noticeably pulls a little bit better. 1st through 4th, I don't really notice a huge difference in 1st gear, but I do notice 2nd, 3rd, and mostly 3rd, and a bit in 4th as well. I do notice a difference there. It's not that there's no difference, but the difference is not as significant as other people make it sound. Now, the possible reasoning for that is, one, I don't have a full system like the site recommends. I have a stock header. Now, this is a 2017, so the header is notably bigger than the 2016. It allows for more flow, and it's a bit less restrictive. However, I still only have the slip-on. I have a K&N air filter, and I took the snorkel out, so it should be flowing a decent amount of air through it. It's just that header pipe might be a little bit more restrictive than it could be. So that's a possible cause. Another possible cause is I do have 93 in the tank right now, and I'm pretty sure that's a majority of the fuel, but I think it is mixed in there with 87 and 90. So maybe the fuel mixture needs to be a bit more pure than that. I don't know how that works. But that's all I can think of. Also, you can look at my idle and tell that it's working. It idles a little quicker than it used to. But yeah, I don't notice a huge night and day difference like other people say. Now, like I said, I do notice a difference, but just not near as much as I was expecting. Who knows, maybe that's entirely my fault. Maybe I overhyped it for myself. Now, as far as the tire goes, back to the Tusk D-Sport, and by the way, I'm running a Dunlop D605 on the rear. I swear by these D605 rears, man. The D605 rear is a good tire for both off-roading and on-road, and since I do like 99% on-road, I still want a 50-50 tire for one reason or another, but it does good with both. I've had a great experience with both, and it does feel like it rips a little bit more as well. The front tire, like I said, is very weird. It feels like I might have put too much air in it. You'll know the feeling when you put too much air in a tire and you don't think the contact patch is big enough when you're straight up and down, and it's kind of like way too easy to move the tire around. That's kind of what it feels like. I don't know if that's the case. I just put 23 psi in it because that's what the 250L manual says, but different tires are going to require different pressures. I've just always kind of put 23, and for every other tire it's worked. Also, it is just so windy today. Holy shit. Oh yeah, it's so fucking windy. It's terrible. Like, it's like the past month, yeah, I'd say the past month has just been so windy that it's hard. It's not hard to ride in, it just makes it worse to ride in, especially on a bike like this that's pretty light. I'm a light person, I'm a small person. This bike is light, but it's very tall, so it acts as a fucking sail, and because it's so light, it just gets blown around really easily. Oh yeah, I gotta land it myself, baby. Let's go. Let's see what the car is next to me. Can I outrun it? Oh, it's a fucking Honda. Yeah, I'm outrunning that shit. Honda versus Honda, baby. That's pretty nice. I also did a bunch of spring maintenance to the bike. So the coolant's been topped off. Like I said, I got both new front and rear tires. I got the valve clearances checked, changed the oil, got new chain and sprocket set. So she's good, baby. And I also got these Zeta bark busters. I've done a few more cosmetic mods to the bike as well. So she's pretty good. Honestly, I gotta say, for a 250, this thing does pretty good. And on that windy note, we come to an end of the video for the day. So I get gas and go the fuck home. I thought it would be much better to talk today, but it's just so fucking windy that I wasn't able to do what I like to. So